All right, cool. So we're recording. I'm going to go ahead and clear the space, clear the energy for us all tonight. And you guys can just get comfy. We'll see who else joins us for the live this evening. So I've got Donna joining in. I'm just going to light my palo here and smudge and clear. Asking angels, higher self, ancestors to surround this space with 100% pure white light energy, clearing away anything that is no longer serving us, only allowing what is of the highest good to take place this evening. All right, so we can go ahead and get started, and if anyone joins in, that's cool as well. So let me introduce myself to start. So if you don't already know me, my name is Kaitlyn. I'm an intuitive moon mentor, and I work with women to revolutionize how they view their emotions and witness them so that they can illuminate self-love and self-trust from within and manifest their dreams and vision into this reality. So I love hosting events like this, like a moon circle. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for following your intuition and giving yourself a little self-love and relaxation this evening. So a little bit about circles. I just want to open up and hopefully the point of this, and to share that the point of this space is to come together in community and know that this is a safe space. So throughout the night, myself and Kelsey probably as well will open up opportunities for you to share what's on your mind, what's on your heart, and know that there's no judgment here. So even if you're someone who's been a bit hesitant to share in things in the past, know that this is a safe space and a perfect opportunity to kind of practice and play with that energy in this space. And then too, if you're catching the replay, you can always create a post and share things that you took away from this experience as well in this lovely community space. So we have got some great things planned for you this evening. I will let Kelsey introduce herself. She's going to take care of the astrology for us this evening, let us know a little bit about this full moon, what's going on. I will be leading some breath work and some gentle, easy movement. Pretty much everything will be seated and on the ground, so nice and light and easy. And then we'll also do some journaling and what have you this evening. So I want to open it up for you, Kelsey, to take it away.
Perfect. Thank you, Kaitlyn. As you said, I'm Kelsey Norton, and I'm the owner and operator of Gaia Goddess Holistic Healing. I help women connect or strengthen their connection to their intuition through a whole person holistic healing method. I love to stress the fact that all of these different areas in our life are interconnected, and finding a balance between all of those different areas, your physical body, your mental and emotional health, your spiritual health, and create alignment and healing between all of those areas so that we can heal ourselves in a whole manner. I love to work with metaphysical tools, working with the moon and tarot, and incorporating that as a practice to strengthen your intuition. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy that we all are joining in community. Relational health is a big part of that healing journey. And being able to find your tribe, find people that you really connect with and feel support from is really integral in your wellness. So I appreciate all of you guys being here, celebrating and with us. I have been doing this for about 2 years, and if you can't tell, I full-time live in a fifth wheel. So we travel around a lot. That's super exciting, but I love what I do, and I'm happy to share a little bit about the full moon tonight with you guys. I uploaded a little PDF in the group. Feel free to download that, print it out to have it with you. But we are in the full moon in Leo. Leo is a fire sign and is really representative of strength, passion, creativity, confidence, drive, and perseverance. And so these are all things with this full moon. We've set our intentions with the new moon, and the full moon is now the peak of this cycle. And this is a reminder to embody those traits and let those traits really become a focal point. Your creativity should be a focal point right now. You need to embrace that passion, that creativity in your projects, because this Leo energy is very fiery, it's very passionate. We also need to make sure that we have a balance in these areas as well. It's great to have confidence, but we also want to balance that confidence out and make sure that we're being humble, that we're not letting our ego run the show, so to say. So balancing that confidence with humility and having that healthy sense of pride. Another thing, because fire signs with Leo, they're so passionate, they're so driven. It's also really important to make sure that we are taking some time to show ourselves love, to practice self-care and avoid burnout, because if we are so driven, that's very possible to overwork yourself. So things that we should really focus on during this time with this full moon in Leo: using your creative talents to express yourself. That's a great way for you to be passionate without being too aggressive with that. Showing love, grace, and kindness to yourself and to others as well. Making sure that fire doesn't become too dominant in relationships. Balancing that confidence and humility. And then taking time for self-care and avoiding that burnout. And all of you meeting with us here tonight is a great way to practice that self-care. So that's a little bit about this Leo full moon energy. And I would love to turn it back to you, Kaitlyn. So run us through that breath work and just
Yes, absolutely. I'm happy to. Thank you, Kelsey, for taking us through that background. Appreciate that. And before we start in with some breathwork and movement, I just want to highlight a crystal. Usually for circles that I lead, I like to tune into the moon energy and kind of see what comes up. So right along with what Kelsey had shared, self-love, embracing that as we work towards our dreams and giving ourselves this permission to rest and to recharge and to just be. The crystal that came through this evening is rose quartz, a beautiful, compassionate stone. So if you have some, maybe you'll work with it tonight or this evening. Otherwise, we'll kind of infuse the energy of rose quartz as we move through a sequence this evening. But a little bit about rose quartz as well. It's associated with the number 7, and 7 for in numerology is kind of this beautiful divine feminine energy with it, right? Even the shape of the number 7 has these curves. So encouraging more of that flowing with cycles, right? We're not always going to be gung-ho and ready for action, and the energy will ebb and wane or ebb and flow between that and, you know, really needing to rest and recharge and digest and heal. And then also some signs associated with the crystal are Taurus, and then I know it's an air sign. I believe it's Aquarius, but either way, you have this earth sign and this earth energy and the air sign as well. So I believe that's beautiful symbolism for, you know, as intuitive beings, intuitive women. A lot of the women that I work with have a very active third eye chakra, very strong vision, whether that's vivid dreams or, you know, astral projection and astral travel, or just vivid in the sense of they can visualize things in their daydreamer, whatever it may be, you know, for them individually. Being aware of that sense and also utilizing tools to ground that energy and to kind of make it happen and turn their dreams into reality, grounding it down into this earth plane, right? So let's see if there's anything else I want to share about that crystal. I think that's good. All right, so this is one of my favorite things to do, is to move with the breath, kind of going along the lines of what I was just saying. I think the breath is a beautiful symbol of spirit, right? Because we can't always see our breath necessarily, but we know it's there. We can feel it in our body. And then, of course, feeling it in our body, we know it's something that is physical as well, right? So to begin, if you have the space, I welcome you to kind of lie down in like a Shavasana pose, if that's available to you. If not, no worries, you can stay seated as well. And I'll do my best to guide you with my words through this short sequence here. So, and just a caveat to everything we're gonna do is gentle and flowy and easy, but listen to your body. You know your body best. So if something feels a little weird or what have you, you know, back off, trust yourself, okay? So go ahead and lie down if that's available to you. And as you do that, just start to notice your breath. Not so worried on controlling the breath yet. We're just noticing. Draw your attention there to your natural inhale and exhale. Slowly beginning to deepen the breath. Lying down. Lengthening that breath. Drawing it in, down into the belly, down into the womb space. Long, slow exhale. Using the belly to press the air up and out. Enjoying long, slow, deep breaths. We're going to move into these square breaths, staying in this position. So that's a count of 4. So what that means is we're going to inhale for a count of 4. We're going to hold the breath for a count of 4. And we'll exhale for a count of 4 and hold the breath again for a count of 4, doing this about 4 times or so. All right, so I'll count you through it. So exhale wherever you're at. Go ahead and exhale. And we inhale together for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the top. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the bottom. 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Big exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the bottom. 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, go ahead, count for yourself. Inhale. Counting for yourself this last cycle. Hold the breath. Exhale. Hold the breath. And let go. Let go of the breath. Letting it go back to its natural rhythm. As you do so, if you're lying back, you can go ahead and start to bend the knees. So we're going to stay lying down. You can bend your knees and then widen your legs out to like the width of a yoga mat. And if you don't have a yoga mat, that's okay. It would be just a little bit further than shoulder width apart. And we're going to let the knees fall in, falling into touch. And even if you're sitting, right, you can lean back on your hands maybe and do the same thing. So knees bent, legs wide, let the knees fall in. And just breathe normal. Taking a moment to go inward. Right, the full moon can be a very emotional time. It can be a stressful time when the moon illuminates things that need to be released or that it's inviting us to work on and take a look at. Go ahead and relax the legs. So move the feet in closer together, staying lying back. We're going to grab one knee up towards the chest and then the other knee up towards the chest. Coming in, going to grab your legs if that feels available to you and kind of pull in, giving yourself a big hug. And even if you're seated, right, you can do the same thing, pulling your knees up. Embracing a moment of compassion here. No matter what you felt this week, this evening, right? Maybe it was excitement and a lot of energy. I feel that way a lot of the times with the full moon. Or if there was some heaviness and some stress, you know, no matter what, give yourself some love for noticing that and allow yourself to be present with it now. Letting yourself know that you're there for her. Give her some love and kindness. Go ahead and relax the legs down and slowly make your way back up to seated. So if it's available, you can come into tabletop position, so on hands and knees. Otherwise, if you want to stay seated, you can do, we're going to do cat-cow next, so you can do it from a seated position if you prefer. We're going to move into hands and knees if that's available. So you want your wrists right under your shoulders, your knees right under your hip points. Nice, long, straight back. So engage the tummy muscles, that solar plexus. Strong, pushing up off the floor. Noticing it, supporting you, coming up to meet your hands and meet your knees. Right, and then you can go ahead and flow into some cat-cow. So moving with your own breath or your own rate. When you inhale, arching the back, looking up. And exhale, rounding the tail, dropping the head and chin. And back and forth a few times at cat-cow. Inhale up. Exhale, rounding. Allowing that energy to flow, just as we want to allow our emotions to flow freely, so that we don't hold on to them, but that they release in due time. And next here, you can stay on hands and knees. In the spirit of this full moon in Leo, we're going to move into some lion's breath. So I'll come forward so you can see me, but you can stay on hands and knees. So if you haven't done this before, I really want to invite you to just get into it, go all in. You might feel a little silly, a little goofy, but hopefully you're in the comfort of your own home. And, you know, it doesn't matter, really embrace it, right? So lion's breath, we inhale, and then the eyes are going to go up towards the third eye. And on the exhale, we stick out the tongue and we do like a louder sighing breath. So I'll give you an example, and then we'll do about 4 of those together. So we'll breathe in. So really stick out your tongue, kind of sigh out, kind of think of that like a fire sound, right? With that fiery sign of Leo. And also you'll want to kind of lean forward almost like that cow posture. So I can demonstrate once more and do it with me this time. And then we'll do about 4 or so more. So big inhale and exhale. Really pressing that air out, connecting to that abdomen, your strength, your courage, that motivation center, right? All right, here we go. 4 more. Big inhale in. Exhale. Let it all out. Get goofy, get silly with yourself. We'll repeat again. Couple more here. If you haven't done a few yet, join in with us here on this last one. Go all in. Big inhale. Big exhale. Very good. I invite you to come back to center. Come back to seated, whatever position you're comfortable in seated. And once you arrive there, just close your eyes for a moment and kind of notice how you feel. You might feel a little bit more energized. You might feel lighter. Just kind of notice whatever it is that comes up, any sensations. So allow your breath to go back to a natural state here. And if you have a journal and something to write with, go ahead and grab it now. Go ahead and grab your pen and paper. And first off, I just want you to notice and write down 1 to 3 words or so coming into this event tonight before you joined the link, right? How did you feel? How are you feeling? What was coming up for you? Like 1 to 3 words, keep it brief. And then now, after that sequence, what did you notice? What did you notice in your body? Jotting down just a few words. Anything in your emotions, any tingling, anything you noticed, go ahead, jot it down. Right, sometimes emotions can get caught in the body. So when we start to move the body, it can trigger a release of sorts. And that release can be a variety of things, right? We might want to cry, we might yawn, we might burp or something, right? Just energy moving and flowing. So I just invite you to get curious with noticing any of those things. And I want to offer you an opportunity to share as well. You can jot it in the comments and let us know anything that came up, or if there's anyone who wants to share, you know, what they noticed in that sequence, or if there's any ahas so far. Maybe unmute yourself and come on and join in with us. So I'll give a moment if anyone would like to share.
One of the things that came up for me afterwards, and it just flew in there, was just I feel lighter. Sometimes all of the heavy emotions of the full moon can get stuck in our body. And I think sometimes we take it too seriously. And so that last lion breath of kind of just being playful, being silly, and kind of just not having to be serious really takes a load off. And I definitely feel a lot lighter, like in my upper back and shoulder areas after doing that. So.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Kelsey. Is there anyone else who would like to share?
I can share.
Thank you.
I would say the same for me. I was feeling really tired. I kind of forgot about this, and then I got an alarm. So I was feeling rushed getting here too. Thanks for letting me in late. And then after breathing, I feel lighter, and I liked the silliness of the lion's breath. I liked embodying that. And I just feel a little more clear because I was feeling like I had all these things to do, and the breathing and the grounding has just helped me feel more present. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Shelby, for sharing. I appreciate you. Let's see. And Taylor shared in the chat, I was heavy and feeling lighter now. Yes, beautiful. Thank you, Taylor. Anyone else? I like offering up a moment because it's a different experience too when you get to say something out loud, or that's why I like writing too, you know, getting it out of our mind and out onto paper, or just using the voice to get it out. So thank you for sharing. And now, oh, someone else is joining in. So with your paper as well, I just want you to think about for a moment, right? If you did this, something like this event that we're doing this evening, something like this sequence that we just went through, if you were to do this every week for the next 6 months, how would your life be? How would your experience, what would that be like? So I'm going to give you a minute or so to just jot down anything that comes through for that. So if you did something like this every week for the next 6 months, what would you experience? What would you experience at the end of that 6 months? Or what would you experience anywhere in the middle, anywhere in between? A lot of us said we'd feel lighter, right? So what would that lightness, showing up lighter in your life, how could that affect other things? A relationship, other choices. So piggybacking on that same thought, what would you be able to accomplish being in that energy, that lightness, that release, that playfulness, whatever it was that came up for you? And I'll give you another minute. How would you show up differently in your life feeling this way? So maybe think about another area of your life and showing up in that energy of the result that is this work. And I would like to open up again another opportunity for anyone to share anything that came up during that exercise. And I can lead first with that. So I know for myself, being an individual who has experienced some anxiety and some depression, right? The reason for me why I return to this work again and again and have learned through trial and error to come back to it quicker and quicker and quicker is because of the energy and the difference when I get stuck in that state of depression and those lower thoughts. And, you know, you have those days where it feels like, oh, like nothing goes right. To do work like this or other practices like a simple walk outside or, you know, any way to move your body really for me is a deep connection so that I can show up, you know, lighter and more playful in relationships, to embrace fun more in relationships, but also that translates in my passions, like my career, being able to be in touch with other intuitive women, and connect with them, right? When I'm more connected to things outside those lower vibrational energies and can access that playfulness and curiosity It's helped me with connection in so many other areas. So that's what I love about this work. But would anyone else like to share anything?
I loved what you said, Kaitlyn, and think that both of those things really tie in perfectly with this book. It leads to confidence. When we feel lighter and we have less blocks, we find more clarity, which makes us feel more confident in the decisions that we're making. It helps us to just feel more secure in ourselves because there's not these fears and these anxieties that are blocking us from seeing that truth. So I think that ties in perfectly with this Leo energy, having that confidence based on that clarity and that playful curiosity, that passion of that Leo energy.
Yes, thank you, Kelsey. Anyone else? You can throw it in the chats or come on for a moment, voice or video.
I can share again. For me, the breath always brings me like more presence. And so just thinking about how that would affect my life, it's like more presence in my relationship might allow for more fun and more affection and like kindness, and just allowing me to be in the moment. And then more presence in my work life looks like just focusing more and not feeling as distracted by things. um, so yeah, I do these practices as well. And I think it's always a good reminder to think about like, well, why am I even doing this and what is it giving to me? So I really like this exercise to be like, well, this is all it gives for me and stick with it.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, oh yeah, make the connection. Yeah, thank you, Shelby. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I've been doing this work off and on for probably 2 years. So it it always changes. There's always layers. There's always more to it. So, just when you think you've healed something, it's there it is again. For me, it's processing the grief with my loss of my dad back in May of 2nd of 2020. So I'm still that's still there. That's still something that comes up. And so, just a second. I am busy. Go. No. Kiddo. Anyway, um, so for me, that's like stuck. It gets because I hold my emotions in my lower back, and so that was like really, um, I was like stiff, I would say, in my lower back, and then like the breathing just helps, like that's not stiff now, so like definitely can feel the difference there. That's where I hold a lot of stuff there, and like in my shoulders, that's where a lot of my stuff gets held. So it's it's being aware of exactly where your body holds things and working with those. So I do a lot of chakra work anyway. I do probably once a week at least. I go through top to bottom on my 7 chakras and figure out what's there. So that I kind of already do this weekly anyway. So I'm just starting to do it more now. I do a I have a girl which I can share in our group, so that maybe we can get some more people in there. I do Reiki Zumba classes with another instructor, Um, and so that's really cool because she does it 3 days a week. So like I've been doing that, and that's been helping me too. So it's like exciting things are happening.
That's cool. I've never heard of that. The combo, the Reiki Zumba. I love just the
Did I
idea.
hear that right? Reiki Zumba?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. Girl, it's amazing.
Sure.
Yeah. So I gotta clear that with her before I do, but I will, if if she clears it, I'll make sure it gets there so you guys can see what that's about. So the more the merrier.
Perfect. Thank you,
So
Taylor.
yay. You're welcome.
Would anyone else like to share? Otherwise, I will pass it back to you, Kelsey.
All right. So we're just going to go a little bit deeper into some journaling. I have a beautiful oracle deck that has some self-reflection questions on it. So we're just going to intuitively channel some of these messages. And if you would like to journal about them, help in that process of physical, putting your energy to, or sometimes that is really helpful. So see what we can get here. All right, we already have one. What risk can I take today? With that Leo full moon energy, sometimes it takes a lot of confidence to take risks, stepping outside of our comfort zone. So what's something new? What's something that you can do that you've never done before? What's something that you have not done before that you kind of let your fear hold you back from doing that? What can you take a risk on? Be not mistaken, you will have to take bigger risks than you ever thought possible on this path towards your dreams. You will have to take the big, scary leap, but do not fret because your soul has wings. We'll give it just a moment and then we'll see anything else comes up. I think we all maybe took a risk today. Maybe this is something that you've never done before. Come to a community moon circle. And if there's anyone that would like to share, feel free to do.
It's kind of corny, but what first came to me is just like believing in myself. Like I've had so much self-doubt lately that it just feels like a risk to just like believe I can do it and like trust that I can do it. So that's what came to me first.
Yeah, it really is. In today's society, being confident and having that self-respect and that self-worth is really sometimes seen as an act of rebellion. It takes a risk to show up confidently and vulnerably and authentically in your life at all times. So it is a risk, but with this Leo energy, we can embrace that and show up even more confidently uh, without any of those anxieties getting in the way. So thank you
Yeah.
for sharing, Shelby.
Yeah, Leo energy is perfect for that. Thank you.
I would say just taking a step back and just for me personally, even if it's having a step back where you're not posting on social media for a few days and just really just taking the time to do reflection on self and doing self-care, that's a big step for me, because I am a mother. And so, you become everything, and so you don't you don't stop to really realize that not taking care of yourself actually affects everybody around you. So like I'm just like took this step back. I was like on social media yesterday, I was like, you know what? I'm taking a break for 2 days. Like, because when you're on every single day and all of a sudden nobody sees you for a couple of days, they think something's wrong, because that's just that's the society we live in. So I'm like, nope, not doing it. So that was a big thing for me, because it's hard to do.
For
Definitely.
sure. Maintaining some of those boundaries for your own energy.
That was a big thing for me.
Well, thank you, Taylor, for sharing. Is there anyone else that wanted to share?
I can share. So what came up for me is expressing my emotions and more so voicing them. For me, the throat chakra has always been a big point of like opening that up and rebalancing that. Having a habit for a lot of my life to like play it small and not feel comfortable speaking. So, but continuing to do that in new ways. I've made a lot of progress. Some people that would see me today would be like, "What? Like you have a problem? Are you sure you have a problem speaking?" But like, yes, and just doing that even on different levels with my intimate relationships and family, um, husband and parents and things. So
Well, and I love how you incorporated that wide breath. Having that deep sigh in there really causes that breathing and helps with the throat chakra as well. So I think that having that confidence to speak your truth and incorporating that with the breath work is really great. So thank you for sharing. All right. Let's see if we can get one more. Do I know all my strengths and am I using them? So going back to that confidence and also incorporating that creativity aspect. How are you? We all have superpowers, but it's up to us to uncover them. When we live and lead with our strengths, we are able to show up in our zone of genius. This inspires others to do the same. How can I use one of my soul's gifts today to contribute to this open and ready world? So I don't know how familiar any of you guys are with tarot, but Leo is actually associated with the major arcana card of strength. So I love that this is incorporated that way. Really focusing on our strengths. What are we good at? What are our superpowers? And how can we creatively use those superpowers to make this world a better place? there's anybody that would like to share, then we can open that up now. For me, I think this opportunity right here is a great example. Kaitlyn and I both have done a lot of work with intuitive mentoring and moon magic, divination, all of those things. And that's something where we've embraced that Leo energy. It's something that we're really passionate about, but it's also one of our strengths. And we have this desire to make the world a better place by sharing our experiences with other people. So I think that just embracing those strengths and showing up in confidence, your experience can become a roadmap for somebody else. So that's my insights on that. If anybody else would like to share. And if not, that's okay. Maybe after this full moon energy, we'll have
Mine's in the
taken
chat.
time to, what's that?
Mine's in the chat.
Oh, okay. Working through some of that confidence to know what your strengths are. Sometimes we get so distracted by the hustle and bustle of life that we need to sit down and really think about those things again and do that from a place of self-love. So,
Yeah, and Taylor has here in the comments, she uses oracle cards and feels like she needs to use them more, like she's still learning. And perhaps too playing with maybe using them without a guidebook and things too, and seeing what intuitively comes up with that play.
and you can incorporate both of those cards with that. That's something you've never done before. That might be a risk for you to not rely on a guidebook and really rely on your intuition to get those messages.
Yeah, it's a confidence, I think, at this point. It's just, I know it's there, you know. But I mean, it's there and it'll come. But yeah, definitely getting more comfortable with just not using the guidebook and just going for it for sure.
Yep, everything takes practice, and that's one thing with community is we can support each other. Can we can be there to help keep you accountable for practicing and give you input and all of those things. So thank you for sharing.
A strength that came up for me was kindness. So I'm good at, being kind to other people and kind of helping others feel incorporated, making sure everyone feels heard and things. But I don't always use it for myself, being a person who is always striving to be better. Making the habit of pausing and just giving myself some kindness no matter where I'm at, on energy, emotion, what have you. And then to just recognizing, the kindness of how far I've come, even, when you get that urge to almost beat yourself up sometimes because we're always striving for the next thing, right? But to come connect to that presence in the form of kindness.
For sure. That is a beautiful strength. Okay. Is there anybody else want to share? Michelle?
Mine was kind of similar. Well, I wrote down a few, but one of them was like compassion. And I feel like, again, yeah, I'm really good at like helping others see compassion in a situation, or helping them realize maybe where they're being a bit hard on themselves, or where they can be more gentle. But it's something I'm always working on with myself, because I relate to Kaitlyn. I feel like I'm always striving to be better. And that came up for me too. Is just like I'm very much focused always on what I need to learn next, instead of leaning into my strengths and my knowledge and wisdom that I already have. And then also I related with bringing people together, and like community is something I see myself having a strength in, like bringing like-minded people together, and how healing it can be to be in community and share with other people and not feel alone. So yeah.
These are all beautiful strengths. We all have our own strengths. Sometimes we share strengths, and that's where the beauty of collaboration comes in, where me and Kaitlyn were able to meet and find similarities in our businesses and in our passions and our values, that we could collaborate and bring this event to you guys today. So I am super, super grateful for that. If nobody else has anything to share, then speaking of grateful, we will end this session with some gratitude. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrational states. So I always love to incorporate in all of my moon rituals, to make sure that um, I can either, if I have been focusing on a lot of releasing, then I can raise my vibration up again after the ritual, or prepare myself to be in a high vibrational state for setting intentions and manifesting. So let's just take a few moments here at the end and really meditate on all of the things that you're grateful for. All things big and small, all of the daily things that maybe we sometimes take for granted, experiences, people, sometimes experiences that seem like they're struggles or hardships still have really important lessons in them. So what are some of these lessons that you are learning, that you are really grateful for right now? And we'll just take a few minutes to focus on that gratitude here. Right. If you are still writing, that is just fine. There's so much to be grateful for. But I will pass it back to Kaitlyn if she has any closing remarks that she wanted to put in here before we end it. Kaitlyn, I will give it to you.
Yes, thank you, Kelsey. And thank you for those cards and that reminder to spend time in gratitude. Appreciate that. And I like to incorporate cards in my circles and things too. So today I just pulled one oracle card for us. And I'll also close as well with an invitation to continue to exchange energy with you all if you should feel so called. But I pulled from Gabby Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back deck. And I love the card that came through. It reads, "My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition." And it's got this beautiful image of the full moon on there as well. So how perfect is that, right? My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. And that's what I love about the work that I do as well. Whether you're in my group, Taylor's in there, Moon Mystique and Mastery. We talk about all things related to the moon and kind of unveiling these layers of emotions, of our subconscious beliefs, of our limiting beliefs as they kind of show up for us, right? In that spirit of wanting to grow our intuition, grow our business, light our passion into the world, whatever creation, that is that we're working on. And if you feel called to go deeper with me, I would love to invite you into my program that's launching. It's an 8-week mastermind. It's called Moon Magnetism. And this is essentially what we're doing, diving deeper so that we can shift. So our external, is a reflection that we want to embrace and that we want to fully embody, and working with the energy of the moon and how to do that. And kind of owning your emotions and how you see them and using different tools, because right there is this scale and there are appropriate actions from your new moon energy where you're planting seeds and intentions all the way through the full moon, which I see as more of a healing kind of reflective time, and everything in between. So if you feel called to do that work, I would love to hold space for you in an 8-week journey. We start at the last week of February. There are 8 spots in there for beautiful, intuitive women who feel called. And early bird pricing is going on now for a couple more weeks. So if you'd like more details about that, I would love to work with you. You can reach out to me. Otherwise, I'll be doing moon circles and sharing about the moon on my personal page as well, and things like Facebook. And then I have a free Facebook group. If you would like to stay connected, please do. And that group is called Moon Mystique and Mastery. And otherwise, I know Kelsey is a beautiful soul and she does beautiful work as well too. So I'd like to throw it back to her if she has any invitations for you. And just thank you, ladies, again for being here, for following your intuition, for giving yourself this time and this space, and allowing me to exchange energy with you. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Kaitlyn. I agree. Working with the cycles is so important in that whole being aspect. And so if you would like to continue doing some of this healing work, I include some of these holistic tools and metaphysical tools in a monthly moon manifestation subscription box. We will get some crystals every month, new cleansing or staging tools, some incense, and all of the astrology associated with the new or full moon phases, all of the rituals and information that goes along with that. So if you would love to have all of these tools delivered right to your door every month, and I would love to help you with that. And I also have a free healing community on Facebook. It's just called Gaia Goddess Holistic Healing. I will put the link to that in the group when we are all done here. But we incorporate all of these different aspects of our physical being, our emotional health, our spiritual health, and we use them in alignment. We find a balance, because if you are out of balance in one of those areas, it does have an effect over all of those other areas in your life. And so using these tools, using these rituals and practices can really help you to become aware of where that blockage that is creating that imbalance is at, and really help in that healing process. So if you're interested in either of those, I'd be happy to help you there. And like Kaitlyn said, I am so grateful for each and every one of you for showing up for yourself in this space. This is a personal work that we are doing together as a community, supporting one another. But it is also important to show up for yourself. So I'm grateful for each and every one of you for showing up for yourself this evening. I'm grateful for the energy of this full moon and for all of the healing opportunities that it will bring us. And I hope that you guys all got some value and some healing out of tonight. So thank you so much for giving me this honor of collaborating with you, Kaitlyn. I hope that we can do it again.
Yes, that would be so fun. And ladies, as we close, just a reminder, if you have any questions at all, I'm sure I'm happy to answer. I'm sure Kelsey's happy to answer too, of, any intuitive tools, divination tools, crystals, cards, any questions, throw our way, we'd be happy to answer. You can throw them in the group or message us privately. That's no worries. And hopefully we can stay connected, and just I welcome you to continue to embrace this energy of the full moon and enjoy a beautiful weekend. So thank you, ladies, again. And I wish you lots of light and love. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.